Dear friends and viewers, Namaskar. Welcome back to KNS Biochemistry. In this session, we are going to see one of the area of biomedical applications of nanomaterials, the polymeric micelles. The role of polymeric micelles in the loading of drugs and the release of these drugs to the target cell. Drug loading and drug release. So let us start the session now. Polymer micelles, they are having a very important role, and the main role of these polymer micelles are drug loading and drug release. That is loading of the drug and deloading of the drug to the target site. So that is the major function of these polymer micelles, and we can see that now. Drug loading and release. So in general, there are three major methods. Three major methods are available for loading the drugs into polymer micelles. And what are these three methods? First method is chemical conjugation method. Second method is physical entrapment or solubilization method. The third one is polyionic complexation. Example, ionic binding method. So these are all the three methods available for drug loading into these polymer micelles. We can see them one by one. First method is chemical conjugation method. So drug incorporation into polymer micelles. Polymer micelles are having central core, and that core is covered by a polymer outer core shell. So drug should be incorporated into that polymer cell, especially inside the core of the polymer micelle. So drug incorporation into polymer micelles via chemical conjugation. So that is the method used. It was first proposed by Ringsdorf team, the team of Ringsdorf in 1984. So according to this method or this approach, a drug is chemically conjugated to the core forming block of the copolymer. So your micelle will be having a copolymer. So your drug is chemically connected with that, conjugated with that copolymer via a carefully designed pH or enzyme sensitive linker that can be cleaved to release a drug in its active form within the cell. So you see that when you are attaching this drug, that is, you are conjugating the drug, you have to see that the pH or the enzyme sensitive linker all are favorable for that one. Then only drug will not be inactivated. So the polymer drug conjugate, that is drug and the polymer conjugate, that complex, then acts as a polymer prodrug. So this complex conjugate and that polymer drug conjugate is called as prodrug. So this prodrug, which self assembles into a core cell structure inside that micelles. The appropriate choice of conjugating bond depends on specific applications. That is, which kind of bond is formed, which type of method you are using. Here it is chemical conjugation method that is used here. Chemical conjugation method. So the nature of this polymer drug linkage, that is formation of that drug polymer complex. that nature of this linkage and the stability of the drug conjugate linkage can be controlled to influence the rate of drug release and therefore the effectiveness of the prodrug. So the prodrug is very, very important to see that you have to see that stability of that prodrug. Then only it will be released, the drug will be released properly. For example, recent work by Katoka's group, the team of Katoka's proposed pH sensitive polymer micelles of PEO B poly, that is polyethylene oxide B poly, that is having aspartate hydrazone doxorubicin. That is a polymerization of this aspartate hydrazone doxorubicin that is attached with PEO. So in which doxorubicin was conjugated, that is the group that is going to conjugate it with your drug, was conjugated to the hydrophobic segments through acid sensitive hydrazone linkers that are stable at extracellular pH of 7.4, but they degrade and release the free drug at acidic pH of 5.0 to 6.0. So in that acidic pH it will release the drug in endosomes and lysosomes. The original approach developed by this group used doxorubicin conjugated to polyaspartic acid chain of PEO-B polyaspartic acid block copolymer, though an amide bond is available there. So adjusting both the composition of the block copolymer and concentration of the conjugated doxorubicin. So the black copolymer and this drug conjugated doxorubicin led to improved efficacy because it is going to carry the drug, and it increases the efficacy of the drug, as evidenced by a complete elimination of solid tumors implanted in mice. So it was done in mice. So when they loaded this drug into these mice cells by conjugation method, it improves the drug efficacy, and you see that the solid tumor is completely removed. It was later determined that doxorubicin physically encapsulated within the micellular, that is a micellular core. So inside that core only the doxorubicin is conjugated with the drug and it is placed. It was responsible for anti-tumor activity. So that is going to attack the target, that is the tumor cell. So this finding led to the use of this PEO, polyethylene oxide B polyaspartate doxorubicin conjugates. This is a very good conjugate for drug loading and drug release as nano containers for physically entrapped doxorubicin complex. So this is a very good method for conjugation, chemical conjugation. So the next method is physical entrapment method. Another method used for drug loading into polymer micelles. The physical incorporation or solubilization of drugs, which within the copolymer, that is the block copolymer that makes the micelles. So solubilization of drugs within block copolymer micelle is generally preferred over micelle forming polymer drug conjugates, the previous method. So the conjugate method is there, and this physical entrapment method is there. If you take both the two, which one is advantageous, which is preferred well, this physical entrapment method, especially for hydrophobic drug molecules. If the drug is hydrophobic in nature, then physical entrapment method is the best method. So indeed, many polymers and drug molecules do not contain reactive functional groups for chemical conjugation. For chemical conjugation, proper functional groups should be there in the drug. Then only conjugation will happen. But that is majority of drugs are not having chemical molecules, that functional groups. So that is why chemical conjugation method is not successful for all the drugs. Therefore, specific block copolymers have to be designed for a given type of drug. So in contrast, a variety of drugs can be physically incorporated into the core of the micelles by engineering the structure of the core forming segment. So now you see that you are going to form a core forming segment, and easily, physically, you can incorporate the drug into that core. So in addition, molecular characteristics of the drug like molecular weight, composition, presence of functional groups for active targeting. So all these molecular characteristics within a homologous copolymer series can be designed to optimize the performance of a drug. So if you want to optimize the performance of the drug, you have to keep all these characteristics for a given drug delivery situation. So this concept, that is physical entrapment concept, was first introduced by a group of people in late 1980s, and it was initially called micellar microcontainer method, because that is a physical entrapment of the drug. It's a microcontainer. So micellar microcontainer method. That is, previously it was called like that. Now it is physical entrapment method, but it is widely known as micellar nanocontainer method. Nanocontainer or physical entrapment method. Nanocontainer, because you see that the core is very, very small. The drug is placed inside a nano core, so it is called nanocontainer. Haloperidol, that is a drug. It was encapsulated in pluronic block copolymer micelles. The micelles were targeted to the brain, because the target organ is the brain. Targeted to the brain using brain specific antibodies or insulin hormone, and enhancement of neuroleptic activity by the solubilized drug was observed. So here see that by neuroplastic activity, you see that the drug is easily solubilized inside the brain, and it reaches the target. So if you take the last 25 years, you can see that a large variety of amphiphilic block copolymers have been explored as nanocontainers for various type of drugs. So for various drugs, if you want to load them and release them into the target, nanocontainers are used nowadays. That is otherwise nothing but physical entrapment method. Different loading methods can be used for physical entrapment of the drug into the micelles, including but not limited to dialysis, oil in water emulsification, direct dissolution, or solvent evaporation techniques. All these are used for physical dissolving of the drug. Okay, that is entrapment of the drug. Depending on the method, drug solubilization may occur during or after micelle assembly. The drug will be solubilized inside that core. The loading capacity of the polymer micelles, which is frequently expressed in terms of micelle water partition coefficient, is influenced by several factors. Several factors are influencing this solubilization, including the both structure of core forming block and a drug molecular characteristic of the copolymer, such as already I told you, composition of the copolymer, molecular weight, and the solution temperature. So many studies indicate that the most important factor related to the drug solubilization capacity of the polymer micelle is the compatibility between the drug and the core forming block. The compatibility between the drug and this block, the block copolymer. So for this reason only, the choice of the core forming block is the most critical one, because that compatibility should be there. Then only drug will be easily solubilized. One parameter that can be used to assess the compatibility between the polymer, the copolymer, and a drug is Flory-Huggins interaction parameter. So here using this parameter, this calculation, see that they are finding out the solubility parameters of the drug. So this formula is there, it is not recorded here, but when you are practically doing, you have to calculate the solubility nature of the drug, then only it will be entrapped, physically entrapped. So theoretically, you see that just this formula used, that is enough. Recently, Allen's group elegantly demonstrated that the calculation and comparison of partial solubility parameters of polymers and drugs could be used as a reliable means to predict polymer drug compatibility and guide formulation development. So these polymer micelles possessing core forming blocks predicted to be compatible with the drug of interest. For example, ellipticin, another drug. So they were able to increase the solubility of the drug up to 30,000 times compared to its saturation solubility in water, ordinary water, distilled water. The degree of compatibility between the drug and the core forming block has also been shown to influence the release rate of the drug from the micelles. When the environment within the core of the micelle becomes more compatible with the drug, then drug will dissolve. It will dissolve very easily, very conveniently. It results in a considerable decrease in the rate of drug release. So for a given drug, the extent of incorporation is a function of factors that also control the micelle size and or aggregation number. Such factors include the ratio of hydrophobic to hydrophilic block length and the copolymer molecular weight. So example, the loading capacity of pluronic micelles was found to be increased with increase in the block copolymers, results in a decrease of loading capacity of the micelles. So for a given ratio of PPO to PEO, polyethylene glycol, higher molecular weight polymers form larger micelles and therefore they show a higher drug loading capacity. So therefore the total amount of loaded drug can be adjusted as a function of the micellar characteristics, as clearly was demonstrated by a group of people, and they have published this one. So several studies indicate that the both copolymer concentration as well as the drug to polymer ratio upon loading have a complex effect on loading capacity of polymer micelles. So generally speaking, in general, more polymer chains provide more absorption sites. As a result, solubilization of the drug is increased with the polymer concentration, the nature and polymer concentration. However, the solubilization capacity was found to reach a saturation level with an increase of polymer concentration. After that, saturation level attains, after that you cannot dissolve more drug. So the maximum loading level is largely influenced by the interaction between the solubilizate and core forming block. And stronger interactions enable that this particular saturation of the drug to be reached at lower polymer concentration. It was also demonstrated in the studies by another group of people that the loading capacity of micelles formed from copolymers with the high hydrophobic content was independent of the polymer concentration of that micelles. So in addition, the location of the incorporated molecules within polymer micelles, micelle core or the core cell interface, determines the extent of solubilization as well as the rate of drug release. So now it has been found that more soluble compounds are localized at the core cell interface or even in the inner shell, whereas more hydrophobic molecules have a tendency to solubilize in the micelle core. So the release rate of the drug, that is drug loading after the drug release happens. So that is called release rate of the drug. That release rate of the drug localized in the shell or at the interface appears to account for the burst release from the micelles. That is, micelle will break, burst out, and drug will be released into the target. In general, for drugs physically incorporated into polymer micelles, the release is controlled by the rate of diffusion of the drug from the micellar core, stability of the micelles, and the rate of biodegradation of the copolymer. If the micelle is stable and the rate of polymer biodegradation is slow, the diffusion rate of the drug will be mainly determined by all the above mentioned factors. The compatibility between the drug and core forming block of copolymer, amount of drug loaded, the molecular volume of the drug, and length of the core forming block, all are the factors which influences. So in addition, the physical state of the micelle core and the drug has a large influence on release characteristics. It was demonstrated that the diffusion of incorporated molecules from the block copolymer micelles with the glassy cores is slower in comparison to the diffusion out of the cores that are more mobilization to the molecules. Dear friends, in this video session we have seen about polymeric structures, that is micelle structures, and role of these polymeric micelle structures in loading the drugs. That is, small nano drugs can be loaded into the polymeric micelles and transporting them to the target site and release of these drugs in that area. Drug loading and release by polymeric micelles. We have seen the different types of drug loading and drug release methods. Hope you have understood the topic. With that, I am going to stop this session. I will be coming back to you in the next session. Until then, it is bye from KNS Biochemistry. Thank you very much. Namaskar.